Welcome to another Nezzo's Bad Shop unboxing. This one's coming to you from the Strictly Sideways club shop, track club shop I should say, where we have lots of Yokomo and Reve-D goodies in stock. And today I am unboxing the MC-1 by Reve-D, which is I believe better known as the Dream D conversion. So all this is a conversion kit for a YD-2. This is not a full chassis, just FYI. And really, there isn't much info on the box to tell you about, other than that gives you a picture of what it will look like when it's built. Now, everything you see here that's shaded out, that's sort of faded, those are all parts you will need from a donor car, which I'll explain further in a little bit. And the version I chose is the wiper arm version. There's two versions of this conversion. There's the wiper arm version, which uses the standard wipery arms for the steering, and then there's a slide rack version. Now, if I come over here to our little display, the red box is the slide rack version. The black box is the wiper arm version. Both kits here are on sale for $5.45 Canadian, and that, again, that is just a conversion kit. That is not a complete chassis. You will need a donor chassis, such as an SX3 or any of these other Yokomo YD-2 kits to complete this. So, let's crack this open. Oops. And let's see what we got for parts. And then I'll explain a little bit more about all the rest of the stuff. So, here we go. The box is open. Yes. Cut the seal, and there she is. So, like I said, you really don't get a lot. It's just a conversion kit, and here's instructions. Very similar to Yokomo. Looks very similar to Yokomo. Development view parts list, and how to assemble it, etc. How to wire the ESC, what have you. Now, with the instructions, there's a complete chassis. The complete conversion kit, I believe. I'm not even sure. Hold on. I know there's parts in here that I don't think it comes with. So let's just kind of go through this. Looking quickly. Gear case. Please use your own parts for the gray part. Bearings, gears. It looks like they give you top shaft, idler shafts. You still need bits from the gearbox. And sorry about the camera positioning. On all those pieces, mid support, vertical deck case. The diff unit. Please use your own differential unit. And yeah, it looks like the front bulkhead as well is completely from another car, like from your donor car. Just quickly reading through. But yeah, so as you can see, you're going to need a lot of parts from your own thing. As, like, for example, right here, they show the front end already on this car, yet the other side didn't show it. That is literally coming from a donor car. They just don't explain it very good there. But yeah, you will need your entire front end pretty much from a YD-2. Donor car. Yeah. I'll probably have to do a more overview after the fact, once this is built. But anyways, yeah, you will need quite a lot of bits. So, see, like I say, here's all the parts it essentially comes with, this parts list. So, yeah, you need your own diff, gears, some bearings, and then literally the entire front end. And I mean literally. I think you get a front shock tower, that's it. I'm not even sure about that. Rear shock tower. These are the parts. Graphite main chassis, graphite upper deck, for either the slide rack or the bell crank. We have bell crank. Vertical deck, moon body post, rear body mount plate, which is like a stealth mount plate. Shock tower, rear shock tower, battery holder, upper arm set, aluminum armor, gear case, mid support, idler shaft, motor plate, spur gear. Yeah, that's everything you see here is what you get pretty much. So you will need a lot of parts. It'll make more sense once I build this, but anyways, this is the parts bag, and I'm going to have to open this parts bag because I want to see the stuff. And this is the chassis plate. Well, since this is, okay, this is all open now. Chassis plate, right? Let's take a look at it. Nice. Very stylish looking. So this is the side you'll install everything on. Right? All the stuff is going to go on here, and this is the bottom side where all the countersunk holes are. Nice looking chassis, very slim. So that's that. That's very nice. And the parts. Yeah, so literally this is all you get. Just this. So, shock towers. It looks like, yeah, just the rear tower. You don't even get a front shock tower. I thought you did get a front shock tower. You do not. So you literally need the entire front end. And, yeah. An entire donut car, as I keep saying. So the pieces are very nice. The carbon looks very cool, unique looking cool carbony pattern. They're thick, looks like 3 mil, 2.5 or at least 3 mil carbon pieces. Looks pretty nice. The aluminum looks very nice and well done, high grade. And let's see here, spur gear holder, etc. There's, the input shaft. Okay, you do get an input shaft, the carbon, or the idler shafts. Good. But you still need most of the gearbox bits. And yeah, so the parts are nice. The fit and finish, or I don't know about fit, but the finish looks very good. From what I've heard from my my buddy here who owns the facility here, he liked the fitment of all the parts, so that's good. Yeah, so this is all you get in terms of the parts. So for $550 Canadian, that's what you get. Now this type of the conversion kit is really only for, I would say, the discerning enthusiast who already has a couple cars, whether they're like fully upgraded or not, because this is more of a project. Because to tune this car, you're going to have to know some things about RC drift, and if you already have a couple cars, you will have more preferred setup and this and that, shock oil, preferred I can't even talk, excuse me. You'll have like preferred shock oil setting, you'll have preferred springs, like you'll have all these things in your head that you'll want to set this car up with as your own from the bench, versus building it to the spec of the kit, which this doesn't really give you. I don't think this really tells you too many settings. It just tells you to install parts, because a lot more of the setup will come after it's built, once you apply a donor car. So having said that, all these parts get put together on this chassis plate first, I think. Well, you use some parts to get the conversion part going. So what I've chosen to use as a donor car for this is a YD-2 S, the all plastic version of the S. So this is like the base S. So I'm going to use this to go along with this conversion kit to build my MC-1 by Reve-D. Now, having said all that, if I work the maths, this is $545, this is $335. Now you're talking you're just under $900 for a chassis. When an SX3 alone, an SX3, we don't have one up here, but there is one over here. An SX3 by itself, complete chassis with lots of aluminum and color and whatever, $745 Canadian. So that's why I say the Reve-D MC-1 is for the discerning enthusiast who already has maybe a couple high-end cars, or this is their third or fourth car and they want a bit of a project or something. I would not recommend this to a beginner. Not at all, because the amount of money you have to spend just to build the chassis is quite a lot for a beginner, for just a chassis. We're not even talking about electronics or anything else yet. So there's that. In terms of pricing, this is a car for the enthusiast, someone who wants to build a project and has time on their hands, so to say, because this is not going to be a quick setup car. Now, having said all that, as well, I happen to have with me the owner of the facility's Reve-D MC-1 conversion, which he's already partially put together. Excuse me. Now, as you can see, it's built, and like I said, this is all you get. Okay, so you look at this parts list, right? This sheet here of what you actually get, and look at what you're seeing. It's already been installed. So, like I said, the entire front end, this entire front end, minus the bumper, I think, possibly. I don't think you even get a bumper. No, so that that's an optional. That's option. We have them here, but that's an option. So that doesn't come with it. So that was added. The entire front end was added. These are Reve-D parts, added extra. Reve-D lowers, added to this kit. They didn't come with it. This entire front end, nothing is here. You don't get any front end. See? So, you have to supply it from your donor car. So literally the whole front end here. This is the slide rack version, by the way, as well. This is the slide rack version. And the owner has gone for pretty much everything Reve-D that they can, minus the Yokomo slide rack front bulkhead, which this is the newer version, the version 2. And they've gone for some weight shavings. Had this milled professionally for weight weight savings. So they had this professionally done. And yeah, that's the version 2 slide rack that's in this car right now. And a Reve-D servo. You can imagine the amount of money just in the front end here on all the high-end stuff. And in the back there's a Reve-D Absolute motor, a Reve-D fan, a Yokomo aluminum fan with a cool Reve-D sticker applied. And yeah, these lower arms, they don't come with it. Right? See? They don't come with it. So that was added on. The toe blocks as well. You see the toe blocks down there? Do you see any toe blocks on this sheet? Those toe blocks, those are the newer Yokomo toe block set. We have some here in color. There's a purple set right there. That's the newest wide set. That was added on. I mean, this is nice. So they give you this. This is the rear stealth mount body mount. So that's nice. They give you a plate here, I think. They give you rear ESC mount plate. I think they do give you that. Yes, they do. So you do get that. That's a nice touch. But yeah, the diff and the gears and some bearings, all from the donor car. So yeah. So also, having showed you this now, what it does look like, it looks pretty fancy. And the motor mount does move 3 ways, 3 positions, up, low, mid, or high, as far as I know. And the battery can be mounted to several different ways and stuff. So very promising looking. Lots of tunability, obviously. But yeah, you have to supply a whole front end, and if you're going to have to supply a front end, some people have already said, well, I'm just going to throw bits and bytes at it. So the newest version's Yokomo slide rack, the Reve-D uppers, the Reve-D lowers, the toe block set from Yokomo. Like, I mean, some people are just throwing all jam. I think this is a Reve-D shock tower. This does not come with the kit, the conversion kit. So this was added, the bumper, this was added, these arms were added, this was added, the toe blocks were added, the whole front end was added. You pretty much only get just a little bit over a quarter of a car with this conversion kit. So that's why I say, again, it's for the discerning enthusiast who already has several cars or wants a serious project and is willing to invest time and money into something like this. This type of a conversion kit, honestly, it kind of reminds me of the Fantasy 2, except the Fantasy 2 is pretty much a complete car, whether you order it with shocks or not. It's pretty much a full chassis, whereas this is not. So again, both of those cars are high-end. They're both same level of you need some knowledge and stuff to put it together. The Fantasy, for example, doesn't even come with instructions because it is one man that has created that car and engineered it and everything, and it's brilliant, but it is very limited production, and it's very, very high-end in terms of its tunability and setup. So in a way, it's kind of hard to compare it to this. I just say it reminds me of it because, yes, it's more of a project. You need lots of time. You're going to have to spend a lot of time driving it and things like that. So, yeah, but that's a whole chassis. This is a conversion kit. This is a slightly different way of going about it. So like I said, I chose conversion kit 545 plus a base level donor car at 335 brand new, and that's just under 900 bucks. Now, having said that, if you decided I want the conversion kit and you want a plus level like carbon bits, or even if you go full SX3, let's say you go with an E plus 455, the E plus kit, 540. Thing is, you're just around, yeah, you're around $1,000 there. So you're about $1,000 said or done for just the E plus and that. And then if you decide to go with this conversion kit and you go with the SX3 at $745 as a donor car, 545 plus 745, so you're into like $1,300 worth of car, and that's just with a Yokomo highbrow, I say highbrow, high-end chassis. That doesn't even include if you go conversion kit Reve-D and then throw like every single Reve-D option and every Yokomo option that you possibly can, said and done. Talked to my colleague out in Quebec, Elite Drift Shop. Shout out to Elite Drift Shop. What's going on, Sebi? Sebi said, yes, it doesn't take very long to build the kit. He built his in about, I think, 45 minutes to an hour. But what he did was he wanted the full Reve-D Yokomo VIP everything. He wanted to put every single thing in it and see what the cost was. And I remember him telling me, conversion kit plus every single upgrade piece he could throw into it, it was conversion kit plus another $600. And that's just parts. That's not even electronics. So, what's that now? Full Reve-D, you're getting close to $600 or so in upgrades, or an SX3, all Yokomo parts to donor it, or Reve-D donor. You're pretty much about the same amount of money, around $1,400. It's pretty like high end. It just depends on what brand names you want. And then on top of that, if you go full Reve-D VIP with all the bits, and then you throw in all of the electronics as well, all the electronics, all the high-end electronics mashed into something like this, you are going to be spending probably dang near $3,000 said and done. Like I said, highbrow car, super expensive, but you will have like the full VIP of all the things Yokomo and Reve-D. In this case, you pretty much have a VIP Reve-D MC-1. So I mean, that's pretty exciting and stuff, and that does kind of make me excited, and I do kind of want to do that. But it's a little too much for me, even still. I have too many cars personally, but for me, that's just, it's too much car, too like right away. Because I don't think I need all the parts right away. I mean, it would be really nice to have a full VIP, but for me, I'll probably take my time with swapping parts onto it and eventually get all these lovely Reve-D parts onto my Reve-D car. Because we don't know if they're going to ever release a full chassis or not. A lot of people have been waiting. But right now, this is your only way of getting a full Reve-D chassis is to buy the conversion kit, use some donor parts, whether you buy a whole kit or have a spare car kicking around. Excuse me. Use a donor car where you buy all your bits, and you will have essentially what is mostly a Reve-D car, but with Yokomo infused parts. And as most people have been following along, Reve-D parts and Yokomo parts are pretty dang close and similar in terms of quality, fit, and finish, and all that yummy stuff. So you're working with high-end brands. You're working with quality materials, so that you don't need to worry about that, which is nice. That's why I say it's high-end, you know, for the discerning enthusiast, and you're getting quality product. You aren't getting cheap aluminum here, so that's good. So yeah, I hear the guys are, I guess, getting ready to go driving for a bit. So I kind of shut the hobby store door here and locked them out while I film this, but they'll want to buy some stuff soon. But yes, this is it, and this is the slide rack version. So I'm gonna get mine going with my S stuff. Put whatever electronics in there. Probably get mostly OMG electronics, to be honest, in there. And yeah. Yes, questions, comments, let me know what you think. A lot of people are doing a lot of different things already with this, and it's really cool to see. But yeah, this is definitely not a conversion kit or even something that I would recommend to a beginner or even someone who's already been in the drift hobby for a few months. I would say wait if you've already been in a few months. I mean, if you want to scoop it up and have it and wait for later, sure, grab it up now. Otherwise, yeah, like wait until more people do some more testing and different things and see how it goes there. Pricing might change, who knows, but right now, yeah, like $545 for just a conversion kit for a beginner is not worth it. To be honest, it really isn't, because you just spend so much on just the chassis. Beginner, I recommend a base level YD-2 to start. Drive this for a while, drive this for a little, get used to this bad boy, and then hey, you want to move up, you want to go crazy with it, buy a conversion kit and turn your basic car into something like this. Similar, you might not have all the aluminum, but you will have all this ready for a conversion kit. That's a better way for a beginner to do it. Get used to something like this, then jump into something wilder. But anyways, yeah, if you've got a few cars and you want a crazy project and you want to do lots of tuning and different things and have somewhat of a, I'd say, a unique car, because everybody's MC-1 will look different. They'll look very similar, but they'll all be different. It comes back to that, same but different type thing. So very exciting, and yeah, looking forward to seeing everybody's things. So let me know, questions, comments, click the subscribe, tell your friends, and let me know if you have one, what you think so far, what your plans are, etc. Love to chat, and yeah, talk to you soon. Everyone be safe during the pandemic, and yes, until next time.